Hi guys, welcome to Teens Level Up, where I will be sharing tips and tricks when it comes to leveling up in the areas of personal finance and self-development, because we don't believe in gatekeeping over here. But by the title of the video, you can see that today we're going to be talking about building credit for young adults and teens and how you can get a superb credit score before you even reach the age 20. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the topic. So, number one, you want to make sure you get a good credit card. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. You do not want a card with high interest rates or just some card that's not going to give you any limit at all. You just want to get a good card. And by that I mean, I recommend getting a secure card or getting a card through your bank. Banks or like credit unions, if you bank with like a credit union, they typically have really good credit cards and secure credit cards. Now, how a secure credit card works is you're going to be required to put down a limit, like an amount. Say I think there's like $300 that they may have you put down. And you're going to give them that $300 up front, and that will be like your monthly limit. So you'll be able to spend $300 on this card, but you'll have to pay it back by the end of the month if you don't want interest. Now, every bank does their cards differently, and every credit card company is different, but it's usually somewhere along those guidelines. Like I said, make sure you get a card with low interest because you don't want to be paying back like extra money just for using a credit card just because you're trying to build credit. Usually secure cards don't have that interest or they have very low interest, so please try to get a secure credit card when you're first starting off. Tip number 2 is, guys, please don't spend it on unnecessary things. And by that I mean, just because you have a credit card don't mean you need to rack it up on dinner, on purses, on shopping sprees, makeup. Okay, that's all good. You can use your card for that type of stuff. But you really want to use your credit card on things that you know you're going to need, such as gas, groceries. So in my experience, what I did when I got my secured credit card, I was like, I'm not going to just be spending unnecessary money just to build my credit. So I use it for gas, and I get gas every week. Once I reach half a tank, I fill my tank back up. So therefore, I'm using my credit card 4 times a month pretty much. And guys, when you have that low usage, it looks really good to credit card companies, and it makes your credit score even better because you're not using it constantly. You're showing them that you are not desperate for it. And when there's like a desperation factor when it comes to building credit, then that can be a problem and totally impact your score. So like I said, use it and then pay it off. So like when you're building credit, you need to know that you have that money to pay off what you're swiping on that card. Then number 3, I want to talk about what matters when it comes to building your credit score. Number 1 is your payment history. So like I said, they want to see that you are paying your balance off before the balance is due. Total accounts, it's best to have more than one account. But like I said, start off with one, get the feel for it, get your nice little score. Then if you want to move on to getting another one, that's good. That'll make your score look even better as long as you're following those certain guidelines that are crucial to having a good credit score. Hard inquiries also matters, and those are like when you go to buy a house or a car and they do like a hard credit check to see what your credit score is looking like and pretty much all the finer details of it. That can kind of impact your credit score, but I mean, you're not going to be doing that too often, so it's not really a big deal. Credit card usage, that's another thing. Like, how often are you using this card? Are you using this card every day for the whole month? And are you using like the whole entire balance? That's not good. Don't do that. The age of your credit also matters. Like, how long have you had this card? The longer you had the card, the better. Like, the longer you're in the game, the better. If you've been paying credit off like 3 years, 5 years, and you got this good score, then you're more likely to get like a higher limit or get better loans, be able to buy like a more expensive house or car, because your credit history, your credit score will be overall just really good. Tip number 4, let's talk about resources to keep an eye on your credit. Now, these are things that you can use to like check your score daily. Now, this again is not a hard inquiry. just going in and seeing what your score is looking like is not a hard inquiry. You can use Credit Karma, which is what I personally use, just an app. You go in, I think you have to enter your social security, maybe what card you're using. I'm not sure. I don't think you have to do that. But just putting your social security, make an account, have the app on your phone, just check what your score is. You can also use other things called CreditWise, Credit.com, Wallet Hub. All of these are resources you can use to keep an eye on your credit. Now let's talk about why you would want to keep an eye on your credit. You want to keep track of like the growth, or like if your credit score is decreasing, and like why, how you can make it grow. Just kind of watch for those little patterns. You can see if somebody else is using your social security number to apply for loans or credit cards. This is a good way to prevent fraud. So say you have a 720 credit score one day and you check next week and it's at a 670 something. You're like, hold up, what is going on? Somebody definitely got my social security number, got loans in my name or something for me to have this major drop if you were doing things correctly and it wasn't you. You just want to be responsible when you're trying to build credit and make sure you're doing everything correctly. Don't spend frivolously. Make sure you're paying it off. Don't just forget about it. Please don't forget about it. I heard of people doing that. They use their card, forget about it, and then they look and their credit score is horrible because they've owed this card company for months and they didn't remember that they did that. Now I'm going to tell y'all about a little hack that I learned along in the game. So I had my credit score, it was looking nice or whatever, and I was checking it. But then I noticed one day that there was like this 3-point decrease, and I was like, why is that? And I asked somebody about it, and they was like, well, if the credit report came around and you had a little balance on your card, even though it wasn't time for you to pay it off, that's a negative in the eyes of the credit companies. So what you want to do is pay it off multiple times a month. That's a hack, and that can make your credit score grow even higher every month. I did that the next month after that incident happened, and my credit score jumped 20 plus points in 1 month, and that is like really good. So what I do now is when I go to the gas station, I swipe my card, pay for my gas, and then like the next day when it shows up on my credit card thing, I pay it off. Like I pay it off immediately because it's just like a small amount anyways. It's just gas. And I'm paying it off 4 times a month. So that many payments a month looks really good and it'll help increase your score. So that's a good little hack that y'all should try. But guys, it is totally possible to have a 700 plus score at the age of 18, 19. I myself am 19 years old and my score is over 720. So guys, just remember, be responsible. You can do this. You got this. You can totally get you a good credit score, be in position to get a loan if emergency comes up, or buy you a nice car, or be in position to rent an apartment or get a house. Because remember guys, when you go to do these big things, one of the main factors is your credit score. And having a bad credit score can lead to higher interest rates and bigger like monthly payments, and you don't want that, trust me. So guys, take all this seriously, take it to heart. I hope you learned something from this video today, and remember guys, work hard, stay focused, but most of all, enjoy your life, and I'll see you in the next video.